let me be very clear. It's not pointless. He just called me a pervert. He will be sued now for defamation, and we will be able to resolve this in a court of law. I guarantee you that he will be sued for calling me a pervert.
You are a pervert
the woman
because you
who
are
falsely
acquainted with
accused
Jeffrey
me
Epstein.
has now withdrawn her
Sure, I've got my own defamation cases. I know the law very well here.
that
You
she
can't
may
threaten
have
me.
confused me with somebody else.
The embassy of Iran.
I mean, he can't threaten you. The guy's a lawyer, and I don't want to. When it comes to a lawyer threatening you with a lawsuit, I would be concerned if I was you, Mohammed.
Super international lawyer, but I have two things about it. First, adding the words in my opinion does not absolves you of anything else you're going to say in the rest of your sentence. If I'm saying just in my opinion, Armin is a serial killer, that's still you can still sue
I will sue
my
you,
opinion
Roy.
doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. My opinion doesn't absolve you of anything. I would just add my opinion and that's it. And the other thing, if because he had some relations with a pervert, that means he's a pervert. Who does Mohammed Hijab idolize? Doesn't he idolize a pedo rapist Muhammad? So I guess he wants to sleep with 9-year-old kids, right?
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, it's better to. Alan has defended Epstein as a defense lawyer, but he hasn't been celebrating the man. But Mohammed Hijab celebrates Prophet Muhammad, who raped a lot of people. So
he
right,
was the perfect way to live, right? So who's the pervert between these two?
Yeah. By the way, guys, so we are free speech maximalists here in this show. We're not free speech absolutists. One limitation and again, this is not a limitation of criminal law. This is a limitation in civil law. If you do defamation on somebody, and that person could show that you were, lying, and it could show you damages. I don't know how he's going to show damages. Like, can Alan prove? This is based in the UK.
You don't have
the
to show
standards
damages. Usually the damage is just maximizing maybe the payment, but usually you don't have to show any damages, and you get still like a.
Well, the standards are different in the UK and the US. I think in the UK you could it's easier. The standards are lower, so you could go after Mohammed Hijab easier in the UK. In the US, defamation lawsuits are very difficult to prove.
Yeah.
Right. But in the UK, I guess it's in the UK. We'll see. I hope. Do you think Alan is going to follow through with this lawsuit and try to? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. I would love to see that. Anyways, let's continue.
Iran was attacked in Syria by Israel. After that, on the first occasion, they then sent missiles and drones. Correct? Now, my question to you is: does Iran have a right to defend itself? And if so, what is a proportionate response? Because you see, I've been getting it.
It's occupied Iran. You mean occupied Iran? Yes, the Iranians have the right to defend themselves by toppling the regime. Iran has been occupied by an Islamic regime, and to defend Iran, for Iran to defend itself, right now we need the help of Israel for Iran to defend itself against the Ayatollahs. Yes.
I've been having a moral quandary about the issue.
Response. Now, let me explain what proportionality means, because you're missing the point. Proportionality doesn't require that a country that's attack back in proportion. Proportionality only means that if you're going to attack a mixed target that has civilians and combatants, the ratio of civilians to combatants must be proportional to the military value of the target. And that's what Israel has been trying to do. But Iran has killed thousands and thousands of Israeli and Jewish civilians over the years. So to defend somehow Iran and saying that they were innocent.
There is no number for that. This is a hugely debatable topic when it comes to international law.
Yeah,
when you say what ratio is...
But it is saying that if it's a general, you can do more harm. If it's like a simple soldier, less harm. It's not like this is five civilians, this is 300 civilians.
So there is no number that has been determined. The idea is that if the target is more important, then a higher ratio is accepted. When it comes to, it's a case by case basis. If a
Yeah.
case is being investigated, my understanding is that the judges would not be judging based on the number. The judges would be judging based on what you have done, your justification for how important this target was, and how much effort you put in to reduce civilian casualties. So it's based on the importance of the target and your attempt at the reduction of civilian. It's not based on the actual number. That's how it's
Yeah.
judged, and it's a case by case basis. So let's continue.
But it's
That's
so
my
important what he said it, because everyone thinks that you need to retaliate in proportion. So if someone killed 10 people of yours, you can only kill about 10 people of his. That's the proportion that people have in
No,
mind.
that's not how it works. That's not how
No.
international law works. Yeah. In fact, the standard that we have right now, based on what other countries have been able to achieve, is a 4-to-1 civilian to combatant ratio, and Israel has managed to do 2-to-1, if based on the latest numbers in Gaza, right?
In a much
Which is
harsher conditions. Much
in
harsher
much
conditions.
yes, it's much harder condition. Israel has managed to actually have a lower ratio, which is unbelievable. So let's continue.
What kind of
Even the
ratio, in your
people who
understanding,
were
is acceptable?
killed, even the
What
people who
ratio
were
is acceptable?
killed
You've
in
spoken
the
for some length
embassy
now. What ratio
were
is acceptable?
combatants who were legitimately.
So if Mohammed Hijab was not talking right now, we would be learning so much. Alan has knows international so well, and he's making such really important points. And Mohammed Hijab is just coming in and he's asking very idiotic, stupid questions, and he's making the value of this show a lot less, because this is a lot of wisdom here from everything that Alan is
Ratio is
saying.
Iran and
acceptable.
saying
What ratio is
that
acceptable?
they were innocent.
What kind of
Even the
ratio, in your
people who
understanding,
were
is acceptable?
killed, even the people
What
who
ratio
were
is acceptable?
killed
You've
in
spoken
the
for some length
embassy
now. What
were
ratio is acceptable?
combatants who were legitimately
Can you hear me or
killed
not?
as combatants.
What's an acceptable ratio for you?
So Iran has no right of self-defense against that. Israel was completely entitled to kill.
Let me answer what you've just said.
Israel was entitled to kill any combatant that was hiding.
See, he lost. So Muhammad is like, okay, go ahead, because Alan realized that you shouldn't be. Look at this. Mohammed Hijab is this young man trying to be alpha. Alan is this old professional lawyer, and Alan just managed to not let Mohammed Hijab stop him. So
Yeah.
Mohammed Hijab comes and he interrupts you, and all of a sudden you're like, people say, let me speak, let me finish my point. And then Mohammed Hijab ignores you, and then he makes his point and he makes the entire conversation himself.
No, even says,
But what
"Why
Alan did,
can't you hear me? Is my microphone wrong? Bad?"
yes. But look, exactly, Alan is just making his point, completely ignoring Mohammed Hijab and just going to the end of his sentence. And Mohammed Hijab is surprised, because usually he bullies people around to submission, and Alan is not submitting to this wannabe alpha, and he's just going all the way to the end of his point. And Mohammed Hijab like, what's happening? Wait, can you not hear me? And then when he says, okay, go ahead, he's realizing that he cannot make Alan submit. So he's pretending that he's allowing it to happen. Like, okay, go ahead, as if Alan needed your permission. Listen that part. He said like, okay, go ahead, because he lost. He didn't manage to. Yeah, he wasn't successful in bullying Alan.
Iran has no right of self-defense against that. Israel was completely entitled to kill.
Let me answer what you just said.
Israel was entitled to kill any combatant that was hiding in an embassy building. That's
like when a dog is barking away from the cat.
Yes, exactly. No, but yeah, by the way, there's no point during this war that the Islamic Republic defended itself. Okay. No. It was always, every single time, it was Israel that was defending itself. Every single time the Islamic Republic was the aggressor, and every action, name me one action by Israel during ever since October 7th or even before that you could call it aggression. Every single action by Israel so far has been defending itself against aggression. So if you ask, can Iran defend itself, meaning the Islamic Republic, it's not even trying. They are the aggressors. Defend themselves against what? It's Israel that is defending itself against aggression by Islamic Republic.
He's acting like it was unprovoked, that the attack in the adjacent building to the embassy, which was a military base, that was unprovoked.
Not, it
That was,
wasn't even an embassy, it was
yeah,
a consulate, and it wasn't even a consulate, it was a building next to the consulate. And even if it was in the consulate, these were generals having a military meeting to attack Israel. And once you use a embassy or a consulate for military purposes, you lose your protective status
exactly.
under international law.
He's going to say some stupid things about it now. Let's hear.
Yeah.
Just conflated two things. You've spoken about the Argentinian case, which there is not actual an independent international investigation on. Number one, and then you've spoken about we speak about first.
The Argentinian courts investigated that. Look at he keeps moving the standard as if Argentina had like this before this attack had an anti-Israeli bias. Like, oh, we need to have international investigation because Argentina is famous to be biased against Israel before this attack. Like, I mean, bias against these Muslims. Yeah, bias pro-Israel. Like, Argentina had no dog in this game. Why would their courts come and investigate this and have a pro-Israeli bias? They would want to know who the fuck did this attack on their soil. That would be their agenda. But even if you have the courts in Argentina proving that this was the Islamic Republic, then you keep moving the goalposts. Like, no, we need an international investigation. I don't know. Even if you have an international investigations, you're going to move the goalpost again to something else. Like, you do that. It's like you never admit defeat. Everybody accepts, everybody knows. And even here's the interesting thing: the Islamic Republic officials, some of them sometimes bragged about what they did in Argentina. So we know that the attack on Jews in Argentina was conducted by the Islamic Republic. But again, if you're supporting terrorism, it doesn't really matter.
April. Was that a response to Argentina? It was not a response to Argentina. When on the 1st of April, they bombed the Iranian embassy in Syria, they did not do so. They said that is a military base and that we're attacking. But we all know that in this country, for example, every single...
The Islamic Republic of Iran is at war with Israel. First of all, the people that they killed in that so-called embassy, which wasn't even an embassy, the guy was Zahedi. The person that after he died, the Islamic Republic came and announced as a person that was, I think Roy just got disconnected. The Zahedi guy was a planner of October 7th attack. That's what the Islamic Republic's media announced themselves. So maybe they're bluffing, maybe they're not, but they that's what they're saying. That's the position. That was the official position of the Islamic Republic's media. But any action by Israel on the Islamic Republic will be self-defense, because the official position, guys, pay attention to this. The official position of the Islamic Republic of Iran by all its politicians is that they are aiming and planning to annihilate Israel and wipe it off the map. That's their official, that's a declaration of war. When Khamenei says that they will destroy Israel, when Raisi says that they will destroy Israel, when the leaders of IRGC say that they will annihilate Israel, that is a declaration of war. So anything Israel does against the Islamic Republic would be a defense move. When you're claiming that, and again, this is not something they hide. This is something they say in every military demonstrations that they have, every main speech that they have. They come, if you ask them, like, yeah, of course we want to destroy Israel. So of course they are the aggressors. They don't even hide it. I don't know if Mohammed Hijab watches Iranian officials talk about Israel. Anyways.
Embassy has military attaches. They have military attaches. So if you go to the US embassy here in London, they have armed officers. Does that make it a viable target?
So he says because embassies around the world have guards, and if they have guards, does that mean every embassy is a legitimate target? No, you fucking moron. The point is that the military, it wasn't just the guards, it was the generals meeting in that building with the purpose of making a plan to attack Israel. Why would Zahedi and Hamas leaders and Hezbollah leaders meet in the consulate together? Why would they come there planning attacks against Israel? Why would they be there?
They could be
They're
friends. You don't
obviously
know.
Yeah, maybe they're just, maybe they were planning a picnic or something. All the top leaders were meeting together, and Israel took them out. And again, this is against a country that has announced its intentions to annihilate Israel. So again, the declaration, this is different. Having Zahedi in the building next to the consulate, meeting with the other proxies of the Islamic Republic that are trying to attack Israel, that is different from having a consulate or an embassy that has guards at the door. The guards at the door, do you understand? Zahedi is different from just a normal guard that every single embassy or consulate that has. This is a member of a key leader of the IRGC, a terrorist organization. A terrorist organization.